Yes, welcome. Anytime the Five has Jessica Tarlov on and they're bringing up the life issue this time, it's going to be just everybody goes nuts, but especially Jessica Tarlov. Even if she tries to defend Joe Biden, your party's in complete free fall, collapse. And that's why we're happy right here in Exile. Remember, never let them take your smile. Even when our side makes a mistake, even when their side pretends like they're winning, come hang with me. Come fly with me. Come watch this video.
You know, Jessica, in the green room, you said that if Trump wins, it could be the end of all time and space. And what's worse, it will hurt women and minorities more.
I did say that.
Yes, you.
Gutfeld just puts her own words right back in her face. That she said that if the world blew up, it would somehow hurt minorities more. I'd like to hear her unpack that, because that shows how deep the DEI has rotted her brain.
It's extreme pregnancy fog, I guess, as I near the end of the line.
She says it's her extreme pregnancy fog. Democrats always blame everything on the baby. Democrats punish the baby, if you know what I mean.
That was a very rich discussion. I'm going to try to address as many of the points as I possibly can.
Just pick one.
Commercial break in about 30 seconds.
No. Commercial break is when I am done with this. So
running the commercial break, which Democrats also do. She goes, you can't conduct business, you capitalist. You will stop your commercial break by any means necessary. The government will decide when it's time to break. When I say it's time, she said.
The threat to democracy point is not working. And all of the good pollsters have made that point very clear to the Biden administration.
The threat to democracy thing, remember the Democrats, she's like, that whole thing that we tried running up, the whole Trump is an insurrectionist threat to democracy thing, it's not working. The polls are showing it's not working. So message is getting back to the Biden administration, quit using it. Quit saying democracy's on the ballot, because it doesn't work. Saying Trump is a threat to democracy, it doesn't work. The people are seeing through your BS, but can Jessica Tarlov stay on topic and follow those rules for just a few seconds? No, she can't.
That actually the messaging that works is about the mundane stuff that people want to hear about. Lowering prescription drug prices.
Hearing from a Democrat that they want to lower prescription drug prices is a bigger problem to most people than what? A hemorrhaging border, southern border?
And things like the debt and the deficit and preserving Medicare and Social Security, those are all encompassed in the economy, right? Like how you're doing and how your family's going to survive looking ahead to the future. So that point is definitely out there.
And how is your family going to survive the future? You probably got to move to a conservative state is what most people are thinking in response to Biden.
To say that Joe Biden is the threat to democracy, considering what Donald Trump and his band of lawyers tried to pull off in 2020, is complete insanity.
She said the Democrats have to get off this topic of Trump is a threat to our democracy. And then she goes right into Trump and his lawyers tried to overturn an election. He's a threat to our democracy. See, this is going to work all the way to the election. It's going to be great, guys.
He dispatched lawyers all over the country to overturn a free and fair election. A lot of them have pled out to doing this. A lot of them are still to face trial. And he's doing his darndest to make sure that he doesn't have to show up in any of these courtrooms because he's deathly afraid of what's going to happen there.
And now she's in space. Does Trump look afraid to you? He's having the time of his life. He loved getting the mugshot. He wants to go to jail. He's teasing, challenging Juan Merchan, trying to get him to throw him in jail.
And as many of these January 6th
He's not afraid of anything.
Oh, big man, not afraid, whatever.
I know him.
Okay, I'm sure you...
His polls go up, Jessica. It's not about him trying to be a big man. He's a politician. He knows how to win. He wants to be in these lawsuits because I don't know if he'd have won without them. That's most on the right agree. He may not have had a chance without these lawsuits.
You do know him, and I don't know him, but I don't think that man who doesn't want to even sleep in a hotel bed wants to go to jail.
He does want to go to jail because he knows this is a temporary setback that he must go through that will secure his presidency. It's actually Trump is so driven and so crazy to become president that he would love to go to jail if it means it secures his presidency. That's something that Jessica Tarlov and the left doesn't understand. They don't know how driven someone like Trump can be. They don't know how ambitious he is. Yes, he'd easily go to jail. It'd be nothing.
Don't refute what happened. We know about Sidney Powell. We know about John Eastman, who just got disbarred. Rudy Giuliani, who's obviously not in very good position. How the mighty have fallen.
How the mighty have fallen because you politically attack them. Again, they become part of Trump's case, making his case that political opponents of the Democrat Party are going to jail, getting their business canceled, getting disbarred. They're in trouble. She thinks this is a huge Democrat win. My, how the mighty have fallen. No, my, how the Democrats have politicized our legal system. Only in Democrat cities, by the way, not in Republican areas. So it's not justice. This is politics. People are seeing it, Jessica. We see you.
But the point of this interview and doing it with Univision was about Latino support, right?
Biden going to the Mexican audience, the Latinos. He went on Univision to try and shore up his base, but he was still a slobbering, mumbling guy, even though they gave him all of the questions they were going to ask so he could memorize answers and put them on a teleprompter. He still couldn't handle Univision. He's going, I got to get those dang Mexicans back on my voter ballot. What do I have to do? How dare they? Listen, if you vote for Trump, you ain't brown.
And making sure that he shores that up. And he's down. He was up 29 points with Latinos the first year in office, and that edge is down to 9 points.
He's 20 points down with the Hispanics. What did Biden do? What's Biden's number one thing that he's known for? Opening the border up. You know who's going to suffer the most of the criminal Hispanics coming up over the border? It's going to be our Hispanic communities. I don't have to deal with gangs, with gang members with the tats all over them, going around and committing crimes, living invisibly in a second-class situation where they have their own underground economy. I don't have to deal that. American Hispanics do. So Biden, it's your fault. You're down 20 points. You're not going to repair that with the Hispanics by going on Univision and calling Trump some kind of a racist.
And that's due to the issues of inflation and crime. He's doing better on them, but he's obviously got ground to make up.
Ground to make up? He doesn't have any ground even to stand on.
And it's interesting that this came out yesterday, and we had the ruling taking us back to 1864 in Arizona about abortion, because Latino votes in Nevada and Arizona are what are going to be really crucial there.
Trump came out saying that abortion, instead of being a national ban or him being pro-life, he says he's for sending it back to the states, which means he doesn't have to change anything because he already did that. That's what Roe v. Wade does. It removes the national right to abortion and saying the states allow it. So Trump punted on abortion. So did Carrie Lake, came right up behind him after calling it murder last year. She now goes punt. I think it's incredibly immoral, but it's incredibly smart politically.
57% of Hispanics say abortion should be legal in all or most cases. And Donald Trump is out there defending his stance of you leave it to the states. He did say today, I won't support a federal abortion ban.
It is so communist and anti-American. I know there's a lot of people on my right going, Doug, federal rights is a state's issue. It is not. Whether if you can own a black man is not a state's rights issue. Whether if you can harvest and perform human experimentation on a baby is not up to a state to vote on. Don't get me started. There's nothing more totalitarian than giving the states the rights to decide when human life begins and ends. Sorry, you can't do it. Period. It's like saying we gave the states the rights to decide if we should have a border or not. We gave the states the rights to vote on if you should be allowed to have a Second Amendment right. It's like you'd go, no, of course not. What are you doing? Those are foundational.
He has said before that he supports a 15 or 16-week ban.
So Trump says he supports a 16-week ban. I think that's ignorant, just absolutely ignorant. He really undermined his evangelical Christian base to the strongest part of his base, but he might think he can get away with it. I think he can still get away with it. Here's where it works politically. So putting that aside, here's pragmatism working for you. It may very well be that Trump just wants to take the issue away from Democrats. As you can see, Jessica Tarlov brought it up here thinking she's going to get this big, sick win. And Trump just goes, look, I dealt with the abortion thing. I'm now pro-abortion and about as much as you. I say let the states decide. And he thinks it's going to take it away. So does Carrie Lake. I don't know if it'll work. I'll tell you one thing. If he and Carrie Lake don't win this fall, this is why. because they gave up on life and undermined their own base. And I'm still voting for him, even though he totally stabbed the pro-lifers in the back. I'm fine with voting for him. You know what I mean? Trump could come out against the Second Amendment and say, I'm a total gun grabber. I'd still vote for him. He can say, I believe in a totally open border, because he might accidentally get some things right. Biden will never accidentally get some things right. Biden will only 100% get 100% of the topics that I care about wrong.
I don't know if he's going to be consistent with that, but the Democrats are going to make that a centerpiece of this conversation, as they should.
Yeah, as they should. Good strategy. Trump just now took abortion away from them, and now she's going, they're going to make it a center point. By the way, the reason why the Democrats have to make abortion the center point of their strategy is really good news, because it's an admission that their economic platform, the people didn't buy it. All of them saying like jobs are up, the economy is good, Biden's winning. They're going, it didn't work. So all they've got left now is the life issue. That's the only thing they can make stick against Trump, is go, he is somehow too pro-life, and we are for abortion up to the 9th month, up to, in fact, up to the 9th year, we're for abortion, okay? And Trump's going to go, I took the issue away from you, so pound sand.
Yeah, that's it.
Joe did not look good there.
No, he looked bad.
I'm glad that's what you took from what I said.
After all that talking she did, he goes, Joe Biden didn't look good there. Replay it, because that's exactly what all of America is going to do. We're going to sit here and argue over life, pro-life, big tax, little tax. What did Trump say about Israel? And meanwhile, the American people look at Joe Biden and go, Joe Biden didn't look very good there, did he? He looked really like he's almost dead. And there's no argument that goes against that, unless they hide him and just start putting smiling photoshopped pictures of him all over the internet, because they cannot show him in public. They cannot have a debate. They can't show who this guy is. They're terrified of their own candidate. I'm Doug in Exile.